Hi everybody, it's Tasso. As you know, a passion and mission of mine is to help people live their lives more intentionally. Because I don't want you to be at the end of the year, for instance, and then wonder where all this time went. Why don't I have the weight that I always wanted? Why don't I have the promotion that I always wanted? And the success behind progress is very simple. It's all about intention. Successful people don't just expect their finances to increase. They're intentional about it. Successful people don't just expect their kids to be well educated. They're very intentional about it. So here are 9 things that I thought of. 9 things that I think you should be more intentional about in order to get out of autopilot and to live a really more balanced and successful life. Here they are. Number 1, be more intentional about your health. And here I mean both physiology and psychology. So your physical health as well as your mindset. Okay? You need to be more intentional about what you put into your body. What do you eat? You need to be more intentional how you integrate movement into your day. You need to be more intentional about your sleep and about your hydration. The Human Performance Institute in the United States, or the teachings of this HPI, are such that they distinguish between different dimensions of energy. They say there's a physical energy, emotional, mental, and spiritual energy. And I'm not going to go too much into detail about this, but they say that the physical energy is obviously the basis for everything else. It connects and it fuels everything else. Just imagine how moody were you or are you after a bad night's sleep? How concentrated can you be at work when you're starving? So physical health is absolutely critically important to maintain, and so we need to be intentional about our physical health. Being intentional about the mental health means here in this case that you are intentional about how you want to develop coping mechanisms to deal with adversity, how you are intentional about flooding your mind with positivity. How do you make yourself more motivated? How do you self-motivate yourself? How do you drag yourself out of misery? So this is something that we need to be more intentional about. These things don't happen just automatically. So be intentional about your health is number 1. Number 2, be intentional about your kids. Now again here, I am guilty as this as well. I am very often happy just to make it through the day with the kids. But to be honest, what is it that we want the kids to know? What is it, how do we want to raise the kids? What values do we need to communicate and pass on to them? And even that is not only enough. It's not just saying the values that I want to pass on to my kids are this and this and that. I want them to be bold and daring. I want them to have the sense of family. But then be intentional about how you would actually expose them to these things. What do you need to do to expose them to demonstrate and to live those values? If you want them to be bold and daring, how can you expose them to situations where they have to prove themselves to be bold and daring? Number 3 is about your impact on others. Okay, I've told you many times that I believe you are a role model anytime and everywhere. Whether you believe it or not, whether you know it or you realize it or not, people always look up to other people to pick up their behaviors. So here's the question: how do you choose to show up? Are you somebody who shows up to inspire and to show possibility? Are you there to empower others? Are you forcing them to stop and think? Are you helping them to step up and raise their ambitions? Are you helping them take steps and move towards their goals? Or are you somebody who actually is rather disturbing people and disrupting people? Are you somebody who is not happy when other people are successful? Think about and be more intentional about your impact that you have on others. Choose the way you want to show up and be very aware about how other people perceive you, and so with this, the influence you have on other people. Number 4 is about your network and your relationships. Now here similarly, we just let things happen and we let people come into our lives and people go out of our lives. People have on LinkedIn 500 plus connections. They have 3,000 friends on Facebook. But what do we want to do with them? What is your intention behind each and every one of them? What do you want to, how can you help somebody, with what you know and what you have? Who is helpful for you? What do you want to do with each of your people and friends, the inner circle, maybe the outer circle? Be more intentional about your relationships and the overall network that you have. Number 5, your contribution, your purpose, and your mission. Here it is all about your achievements. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to accomplish? For instance, at your job, when you go and have a job, what is your footprint that you want to have? What do you want to be known for? What do you want to dedicate your time to? Or overall, what do you want to dedicate your life to? Very often we are struggling with sitting there when we want to write a job resume and for an interview, what were our achievements? We look back and we try to figure out what we actually were good at. Well, flip the switch and actually plan ahead. Plan for your achievements. Plan for your accomplishments. Think about and be more intentional about what you want to do, what you want to be known for. Companies have all these missions and mission statements to help people, to help mobilize and motivate people, to help them achieve what they want to do. Why not you? Why should you not have a mission and a mission statement? If you don't have a mission, and if you don't communicate and you don't articulate what your mission is, how can you expect other people to even be able to help you, even if they wanted to? Number 6 is about your experiences. Be more intentional about your experiences. Again, similar to the contribution, we very often let life just happen to us, and then we look back and say, whoa, this is what my experiences are. What if you actually are more intentional about your experiences? What is it that you want to tick off as a box? Do you have a bucket list? What are the 50 things you want to achieve in your life? Is it about travel? Is it about cultures? Is it about community? What is it intentionally that you want to have in your life? Number 7, about your growth. What is it that you want to become? What is it that you want to learn? What skill do you want or need to sharpen? What is it that you want to get better at? As simple as that. Be intentional about it. Plan about it. Don't just let things happen to you and react. No, rather be proactive and plan for those things that will be of service to you, that will build your skill set, that will make you more valuable for yourself and for those people around you, the people you work for, the people that you love and that you serve with your skills and competencies and expertise. Then number 8, your finances. Very rarely finances increase just because we want them to. We need to be very intentional about our finances. And the least we can do is to be at least aware about the earnings, so what we earn and what our expenditures are. Very often I talk to people and at the end of the month they tell me, I don't know where all the money went. Well, the reason for that is because you don't get the basics right. Where does the money go? Be more intentional about it. What is it that you need? What is it that you want? And make it more intentional for you to be aware of your finances. Where do they go? How do you invest? Become a more solid investor and understander of your finances. And ultimately, number 9, very, very important, your time. Be more intentional about your time. I don't know about you, but I don't believe in reincarnation. Okay, so I have one life. We only have one, we live once. And as the quote says, if we live our life well, once is enough. But then in order to live our life well, we need to be more intentional. What do we want to spend our time with? Are you aware, at least when you're watching TV and you're Netflix binge watching, that you do this at that very moment? Is it because you took the time, or is it because you just were frustrated with something else and you ended up in front of the TV? Be intentional. You can do things to relax, but be more intentional about how you spend your time. Be intentional about the one and only life you have. So now here's my question to you. How would your life change if you would just stop and think for a minute before you act on something, before you act on your impulse? What would it look like if you just stop and think about what you're going to do next? How would it look like if you replaced in one of these 9 elements, or maybe in all of these 9, if you replaced impulse by intention? I hope this was inspiring for you. I hope this helped you understand what I feel are the areas where we need to be really, really much more intentional about in our lives. There were 9 of them. Let me repeat them quickly for you because, I even forgot about them, hopefully not. So number 1 was about your health. It was the physical and mental health. Then it was about your kids. How do you want to bring them up? Be more intentional about it. It was about your impact on others, how you show up. Are you inspiring or are you somebody who's more disrupting? It was about your relationships and your network. It was about your contribution, your achievements, accomplishment, your purpose and mission in life. What is it that you want to be known for? It was about we said this, yes, it's about your growth. We said it's about your finances, it's about your experiences, and ultimately, overall, it is about your time. You need to be more intentional about how you spend your time. Choose wisely whether the time that you spend in a 9-to-5 job, the times that you spend at nights working on those things that you didn't get done at work, if these are wisely spent, this is of how you want to spend your life. I hope it was inspiring. I hope it gave you some ideas of maybe areas you need to look a bit more. Maybe you're mastering most of these. Maybe there's only 1 or 2 things you can tweak a little bit here and there. So if you liked the video, please give me a like. If you enjoyed it very much, share it with a friend to inspire other people as well. I thank you very much for watching this, and until the next post, all the best.